Let's talk about an important earnings as well, PNB, which we had flagged off as part of our headlines as well. This result has been quite impressive in the quarter gone by. The management joins us right now, Mr. S.S. Mallikarjuna Rao, MD and CEO at the bank. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in. Operationally, it's been a strong quarter for you. You've improved your profitability and there has been lower losses because of, despite of higher provision. Can you tell us how the recent performance has been for you? What is your assessment of how you performed? Is it in line with what you expected?
See, key features has been operating profit sustaining itself is a very important factor for us. It was around 3,800 crores for the quarter. That is a very important ingredient for the performance. Then aging provisions we have done. We have also taken certain dispensations in terms of fraud accounts where 776 crores provision is deferred in terms of the RBI guidelines. So by and large, it has been a moderate performance to give the confidence for the future. Particularly, the gross NPA has come down, net NPA also has come down below 6%, and we are very confident that we will be sustaining in the years to come below 6%. In fact, our endeavors will be to reduce that. Treasury profit also has been there for the whole year, 1,632 crores, and for the quarter roughly around 500 crores. So there was a moderate contribution from not only the interest from advances but also from the treasury profits. This has contributed to the level currently where we have declared the results, but we still have very important things to take care in the next 2 quarters, particularly the provision deferments and also certain aging provisions which we are planning that by September, if we are able to complete. In the Q3 and Q4, even if we are required to encounter the COVID related impact, we should be able to sustain. Even the year 2021 also, we are looking at moderately to see the profits crop up. Our capital adequacy ratio also is comfortably placed at 14.14, which is taking care of the regulatory requirements. There is also a cushion for growth capital. However, when we are going to merge the balance sheets for the 3 banks as of 1st of April, we will reassess the position in the next month when we go to the board regarding the capital as well as the business plan.
Morning. And also, how are you managing lending to stress sectors like NBFC, MSME while managing your NPA expectations at the same time?
NBFCs we have already lent. Even if you look at in the last 6 months ended March, there has been a good amount of lending to NBFCs. Earlier, the limit what internally was up to 11% of the total advances, whereas that also we have increased internally so that we are able to accommodate wherever there is a requirement for lending to NBFC. With respect to MSME, MSMEs continue to be under little strain. Even much before the COVID, you must have seen MSME was under strain, as a result of which Reserve Bank of India had given a window for restructuring of the accounts up to 31st December 2020 initially for all those standard advances as on 1st January 2020. Further, it has been extended up to 31st March 2021. What is important is even in the COVID, the major effect came on MSME. It is all the responsibility of commercial banks to see that MSME is given helping hand once the COVID impact is opening up, and we are seeing already the export orders coming to some of the exporters under MSME category. But the real impact of coming back more effectively probably will start from 1st of October to peak from 1st of January. So it is very important for all of us to see that MSME segment is helped well. Emergency COVID credit we have been extending in terms of the government guarantee which is given to us. That is 20% of the lending outstanding as on 29th of February. We have identified roughly around 5 lakh accounts, out of which already we have sanctioned more than 1,65,000 accounts. We are working on that. So what is important is we are able to see that MSMEs come back to normalcy post-COVID situation.
All right, sir, thanks for that. And on the recoveries and resolutions front, what are you expecting, and any noteworthy names that you'd like to highlight?
Recovery, in fact, in the month of January, when we were expecting the recoveries for March ended 2020, there were quite a good number of big accounts where we were expecting recovery. However, it did not happen. One of the accounts everybody is aware, that is Bhushan Power, where it is stuck up in litigation, expecting that it may get resolved in the next couple of quarters. So the recovery position as at the end of March, while we were expecting anything around 6 to 8,000 crores, it did not happen. It ended up only roughly around 3,000 crores of recovery ended March 2020. Even the June quarter also, we will not have much of recovery because of the COVID impact. Whatever recoveries we expect, it could be at the end of Q2 and Q3. However, the recoveries what were achieved up to February end were there. That's how it was very moderate at the end of March 2020.
Mr. Rao, your GNPA and net NPA have begun to improve. What are the drivers here, and could it worsen again once the moratorium is lifted?
One thing is that net NPA will not have any impact because the aging provisions which are lined up to September will take care of the net NPA position to bring it down even in the combined entity, because those two banks also have net NPA below 6% and also gross NPA below 15%. As such, I am not expecting these two to get impacted, except for the fact that the lending outstanding, the advance outstanding as at the end of March, if you look at for June, because of the COVID impact, it has come down. How far we'll be able to do the disbursements in the next 10 days time up to June 30 is only a matter. However, if you look at the outstandings, that is value of gross NPA and value of net NPA, they will go down, they won't be any increase.
All right, and what about the outlooks on rates, availability of capital and the transmission? Could you give us a sense of how the credit growth might look like going forward?
With respect to credit growth, initially before COVID, we planned for a 12% credit growth for the bank in the year 2020-21. However, because of the COVID, we are moderating this to 6%. We will be going to the board next month with full analysis after completion of the opening balance sheet for the three banks. With respect to interest rates, you are aware that retail and MSME are covered through the external benchmark, that is repo linked interest rates. As a result, the transmission is automatic. It is only a matter of time that the existing borrowers, prior to introduction of this external benchmark rate, getting converted into external benchmark rate, we have already extended a window to them. They can convert anytime. That process is also in progress. So as far as transmission is concerned, with respect to the loans where they are linked to external benchmark, it is automatic. When the repo rate was reduced by 75 basis points in the month of March and further 40 basis points in the month of April, it has automatically been transmitted. With respect to MCLR as well, it has come down effectively by transmission. We have also introduced Treasury linked external benchmark rate as well for the corporates specifically. So technically, if you ask me, majority of the lending currently is happening where the lending rates are linked to external benchmark.
Right, sir. And we're given to understand that PNB is currently undergoing a huge transformation process, and they're reorganizing the bank to capture the opportunity that's there, and also now being the second largest PSU lender post the mergers. What's the long-term potential here for PNB investors?
Correct. Already we have undertaken a massive restructuring of the bank, which was necessitated because of the merger of two other banks with us. Now we have roughly around 12,000 branches across the country, wherein we need to put a perfect setup for administrative as well as risk underwriting control. Effective from 1st of July, the entire organization is going to remodel itself. We have already positioned the leadership roles across the country in various stages. To tell you in a nutshell, what we have done is the large corporate borrowers, large corporate branches we have identified to the extent of 23, which will be directly reporting to corporate office, wherein we will have a better administrative and credit underwriting control. Further, we have opened 24 zonal offices. Earlier, PNB standalone was having 13. Now, in the merged entity, 24 zonal offices. In all the 24 zonal offices, we have parallelly operationalized zonal risk management centers in order to see that the proposals which are processed are properly underwritten. Similarly, processing centers we are operationalizing from 1st of July, whereupon the loans sanctioning above 10 lakhs will be delinked from the branches and processing centers will take care. It is a massive restructuring plan for the entire bank, second largest in the public sector space. We are expecting that the entire structure will get maturity in settling down from 1st of July to 30th of September. So we would see benefits from 1st of October. This is to create a structure framework in a proper manner. Now the benefits will automatically accrue once the structure is put properly. Even at the top level, verticalization we have created at the head office level in order to have proper monitoring of the various verticals rather than monitoring everything with the field functionaries. So that kind of a line of vertical monitoring approach also will give us an advantage. Now we'll have to wait and see how they are going to play out for giving the outcomes which we are expecting, but I'm very confident that this organization structure is going to bring good business impact on the bank. However, the year 2021 we are looking at strengthening the balance sheet, because you must have seen PNB had a rough time in the last 2-3 years. It has been coming back to normalcy, and 2021 we see that it is a consolidating year for PNB combined entity 2.0 with 11,000 branches and more than 18 lakh crore of business. So the 21-22 should be a billboard for increasing the business more effectively.
All right, Mr. Mallikarjuna Rao, we leave it there for this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.